I think this death has to be the most craziest celebrity death I've ever seen.
I am the stone that the builder refused. I am the visual, the inspiration that made ladies sing the blues. I'm the spark that makes your idea bright. The same spark that lights the dark so that you can know your left from your right. I am the ballad in your box, the bullet in the gun, the inner glow that let you know to call your brother son. The story that just begun, the promise of what's to come. And I'ma remain a soldier till the war is won.
Okay, so this is actually going to be a very, very interesting video. Very interesting because I think this is like the start of kind of how I grew up in a way, you know what I'm saying? Because this happened when I was 8 years old, bro. When I was 8, and I remember that day too. I remember that day, maybe not quite like it was yesterday, maybe like it was last week or something like that, but yeah, this was crazy. This was the craziest day, and it was showed to be one of the craziest weeks too. Craziest months when it came to his music, where I saw him on. Like, this man's death was the most wild death I've ever seen. So, as all you know, I like Michael Jackson, you know. I grew up loving his music, learning things about him, learning the good and the bad and the middle ground. You know, a lot of stuff about him is very interesting. But I wasn't really old enough to really know or about all the stuff that was in that decade for him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about all the media scrutiny. I didn't know all about his skin. I barely even knew about that. I barely knew about anything about him. You know what I'm saying? All I knew was the music at this point in time in my life. All I knew was the music. I knew only like 3 of his songs, and I loved all 3 of them. It was Beat It, Billie Jean, and Smooth Criminal. It was like them 3. Those are the first 3 Michael Jackson songs I ever got introduced to, and I was hooked. And that was when I was in kindergarten. So it was like 2 years before Michael passed. And I remember, like, in this very room, I was dancing like crazy to Beat It, bruh. Like, because YouTube was relatively new at the time, and they kept recommending me his music around 2007-ish, right? And I remember looking at it, and I'm like, wow. I remember I kept ignoring it because I wanted to watch some Alvin and Chipmunks stuff, because I was addicted to Alvin and Chipmunks at one point in time. So then I actually clicked on one of the Michael Jackson videos, and it was like Alvin the Chipmunks and Michael Jackson. If you know, you know. I might put it up. You never know. But it was Michael Jackson and Alvin and the Chipmunks, you know, combo, whatever, collaboration. You see Michael on stage, then you see Alvin to the side. Like, that's how I got introduced to him, by the way. I don't think people know that. But, yeah, yeah, and I remember after that, my mom caught me, watching him, and I remember, we're Christians, right? You know what I'm saying? So my mom was like, "No, don't listen to that. Don't listen to gospel stuff." You know what I'm saying? Understandable. I've definitely gone far away from that. Not saying like I listen to gospel and stuff now. You know, I'm still a Christian, whatever, but I listen to a lot of other stuff now. You know, but I remember. 2 years later, I mean, it's not how I got introduced to Michael Jackson. It's about the day he died. But, I'm just giving you a little backstory. But the day he died, let's skip all the way forward to June 25th, which is today. June 25th, 2021. And it's hard to say that it's been literally around 12 years since Michael Jackson has passed away. It really has been. 12 years. It's really insane to me how quick time really flown past, you know what I'm saying? But back to the day he died. I remember I think I woke up from a nap, you know what I'm saying? I woke up from a nap. You know what I'm saying? In my mom and dad's room, I woke up from a nap. Then I woke up. I went to the living room, because, I always went to the living room. And, I see my dad. I think this was a Thursday. And it was in the summer. So yeah, of course I was out of school. And I think my dad, he must have took that day off or some, or he must have got home early. But he did have a different job, so he probably had a different schedule. Whatever. You know, he was just working out, you know, doing them weights, you know what I'm saying? And I see on the TV, Michael Jackson has just been hospitalized. You know what I'm saying? And I see that, and I'm like, whoa. Oh, I know Michael Jackson. You know? I'm like, I know Michael Jackson. I didn't know him as much as I did now, but I know a bunch about him more now, of course. But back then, I only knew like 3 songs of him. You know what I'm saying? I barely know about anything else, or at least I don't. So, I remember he's in the hospital. He has a heart attack. Me and my dad watching. I remember my mom coming from the shop saying, you know, Michael Jackson in the hospital? And then, you know, we were just sitting there and watching it like, I think he'll be okay. You know, I was thinking, I'm like, he'll be okay, you know. So, you know, I was still interested in watching because I never seen so much coverage like this. Because I remember I flipped channels and stuff. Michael Jackson on this one, you know. Michael Jackson on that one. Michael Jackson on that one. I'm like, wow. And so, you know, I'm just sitting there, you know what I'm saying, with my dad. You know, we were just chilling, just watching while he was working out. Then they said that, oh, he had a heart attack. And then reports come in saying that Michael Jackson has just passed away. I think it's been confirmed. CNN, inside sources, inside this, inside that. Michael Jackson has just died. And I'm like, whoa. This is my exact reaction. I'm like, whoa. He just died? Wow. So then I was sitting there getting many updates as I could. Mind you, I was only 8 years old, so I don't really know a lot of stuff that's going on. But of course, I did know what a heart attack was. I knew what. It's just hard to get out in words, bro, because it's like I was so ignorant, bro. I was so ignorant. I did not know the severity of the situation like that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really know the severity of the situation because, you know, of course I knew Michael Jackson. I didn't know he was just this. I didn't know he was a huge artist. You know, I only knew like 3 songs about him, bro, from the 80s. You know? I didn't know he was that big of an artist. To have his last moments alive broadcasted on like 10 different channels. You know? So then, I remember being confused at one point because I remember Beat It, Billie Jean, Smooth Criminal. He was all, you know, a little browner skin there. And I remember this, you know, this could be off a little tangent, but when he had the heart attack, you know, and he was on the articles and he was on the news. I remember I saw, you know, white Michael Jackson. I did not know who that was. I did, bro. And let me be real. Let me explain. I didn't know browner skin Michael was white Michael, bro. I white skin. I didn't know that. I was confused. I'm like, yo, Michael's a black man. He's not a white skinned man. What is this? You know, because my dad was like, yo, that's Michael. He just turned white. And I did not know. I was so confused. I really was. I didn't know white Michael. I only knew black one. Don't come for me. I'm just saying. But, you know, and I'm like, what? I remember being so confused. Like, what? I'm like, no, that got to be his bodyguard or something. Maybe he's too skinny to be a bodyguard. That's just what I came up with. Like, what? That's not him. But, you know, it was. And I learned more about him, you know. Like, after he passed away, right? You know what I'm saying? Let me skip this. After he passed away, literally like 10, 20 minutes after they confirmed his death, you know, Jermaine, you know, can't come out and says, you know, my brother's just passed away. I remember that. And I'm like, wow. So then, you know, I got up, you know what I'm saying? I sat down in this very room, turned on the computer. I was finishing playing a racer game, by the way. I remember that game. It was Super Speedway Racer. I love that game, by the way. It was on ESPN website. But after that, you know what I'm saying? I look up, you know what? Michael Jackson. So then I look up. I'm like, wow. Okay. You know, I started looking at more about him and stuff like that. You know, and his death that day and everything, and I started just looking up more about him. You know, I saw the pictures of him. Ugh. Yeah, I don't have. I was so confused why he looked so different, bro. You know, I wasn't scared of him. You know, as much a lot of my friends say that, or not a lot of my friends, but I've seen a lot of people say that they're scared of Michael Jackson when he was a kid. You know, Thriller did more to scare me. Thriller did more to scare me than anything else. You know, but yeah. But I look up more about him, and I see all this stuff about him. I'm like, what? Kind of ignored a lot of it, you know what I'm saying? At the time, I wasn't really interested in all that. I was just looking more about his life, or at least the good parts of his life, or the interesting parts, or stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And the day he died, bro, it was insane. I remember going on BET, people were saying that, I'm sorry, or regret to inform you, but Michael Jackson has just passed away. And I see all these reactions, bro. I see Johnny Depp reacting, maybe not that day, but later on. I see Stevie Wonder crying on stage later on. Chris Brown, Madonna. Like, I see all these people go out and show their way for this man. Show their condolences for this man. And it's worldwide. I remember later that night we saw the broadcast of people around the world reacting to Michael Jackson's death. And that's one death I feel like everybody was really around for. Like, everybody remembers their moment when Michael Jackson passed away. My friend Desmond, you know, he said that he was taking karate lessons. Somebody else I know who doesn't stay in America said when he was at school when it happened, and they were playing his death, or at least the coverage, on the TVs, you know, on the TVs everywhere, you know. One of my friends said that they was at the movies, you know. Like, I know a lot of stories about the day Michael Jackson passed away. A lot of stories. And this is mine right here. I was in the house, you know, like I just said, sitting down watching like everybody else was. I thought everything was going to be okay, and unfortunately it didn't. So, ever since then, you know, I've kind of been more interested in his life. You know, I was always more interested in his life and music. Because, like, I seen so much love for him. So, you know, let me go later on a little bit. You cannot go past a music station without hearing his music. You really couldn't. BET was blasting him 24/7. VH1, MTV. You will see Thriller over here. You see Beat It over here. You see You Rock My World over there. And I'm just taking all this music in, and bro, I'm in here grooving, bro. I'm in here grooving. You know what I'm saying? My dad tried. Like, I remember when a Michael Jackson video popped up. It was "Leave Me Alone." I remember this. You know, this like a few days after he passed, I was watching it. My dad came over here wrestling. Me and my dad, we wrestle. You know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day to him, too. That was like a few days ago. But, you know, my dad was trying to wrestle me, and I see "Leave Me Alone" on, and I'm here like, what? I never heard this one. What? Leave me alone? What? And then my dad tried to wrestle me, like, no, I want to watch. And my dad, you know, he didn't listen. You know, I love my dad so much. And speaking of which, my dad and Michael Jackson was born in the same month and the same year. 1958, August. You know, just to put that out there. Thought that was dope. But, yeah. I remember I was just so addicted to this man's music. It's like, I don't know, like, what's going on? And then I remember his funeral, right? His funeral was, it was sad. You know, I never really watched the entire thing. I watched a chunk of it, but I never really watched the entire thing. I saw his daughter crying, his brothers with the white glove, you know, the golden casket. It was the most watched funeral of all time, you know. And it was shown in theaters, you know, Times Square. Oh, yeah, the day Michael died, articles was everywhere, bro. I could not escape seeing this man, bro. I see this man everywhere, you know. And his funeral was, like I said, everywhere. Oh, my goodness, bro. Like, so much love for this man, bro. And then when the more I look into it, it's a lot of fake love, too, because the media really hounded this man. They really hounded this man. They tortured him from the inside out. A lot of people did. And it's insane to me how a quick 180 the media did. You know what I'm saying? And comedians joked on Michael all the time. I have friends that joke about Michael Jackson. Like, Michael, apparently, like, back in the day, you could not really go down the street without hearing a Michael Jackson joke in the 2000s. You could not. You could not. You know, I'm not the type of guy to tell you what you can and can't joke about, you feel me? But I'm saying, when he died, them things kind of disappeared. I don't know what happened to them. I didn't hear no jokes when he passed. I mean, I'm pretty sure there was, of course. But I remember going on YouTube and I see people's reactions, you know? People in New York, you know, saying, yo, bro, Michael Jackson just died. I remember YouTube was blowing up. YouTube was blowing up. I remember Michael Jackson just died. And it's like, why? And I see people, you know, online dancing to his music, you know, saying tribute here, tribute there. And the worldwide cry for this man was insane. You know, there's a lot of hypocrites, you know, that slandered this man's name, and then when he died, act like, oh man, I always loved him. You know, cut that out. You know, people still do that to this day. People don't know how to feel about Michael Jackson now. I'm gonna be real. They don't know how to feel. They really don't. It's like it's split in the middle of how they feel about him. I haven't seen one person deny his talent though. But compared to how it was in 2009 when he died, bro, that love was tremendous. You know, I mean, his love is still tremendous. And now you have babies knowing who this guy is and loving his music. Like, don't get me wrong, Michael has to be one of the most beloved artists of all time, regardless of anything else. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna put that out there. But later on that year, I remember going in school, you know what I'm saying? And I remember me and this friend group I had. One guy's name is Brandon. I graduated with him. He did not remember me at graduation. He did not remember, but I remembered him. But, you know, we actually got cool, you know, at graduation. That dude was funny, bro. But he doesn't remember me from RTCA, though. He doesn't remember me from 3rd grade, you know, later that year. So I remember we had a whole Jackson 5 group, bro. We had a whole little Jackson 5 group because I remember after Michael died, he would kind of do dances in the hall, and, you know, and I wanted to do it too. Yeah, because I remember after he died, I see all this dancing he did, and I'm here like, yo, how does he do that? How did he do the moonwalk? Like, imagine getting introduced to the moonwalk for the first time, bro. Or at least the second time. You know, just watching that, how he just glides. And all the other ones he did later on in his life that I'd never seen. Like, getting introduced to Michael Jackson and his music was amazing. I remember being hooked on so many different songs, bro. Black or White, Bad. They didn't really care about, like, so many different songs. And, you know, back in school, later that year, like I said, we had a whole little Jackson 5 thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Jackson 5, I remember ABC. I remember that song before he died, though. I remember that song. He was on Daddy's Day Camp or something like that, and I remember loving that song. I didn't know that was Michael, though. Like, Michael was a kid doing that. Like, what? I didn't know that was him. And, yeah, like, learning more about him after he passed was amazing. I wish he was still here and I could learn more about him, but, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, like I keep trying to say, but back in school, we made our own little Jackson 5. And he literally drew me and, like, a few other boys, you know, dancing like the Jackson 5. I still have that book in there, but I don't remember where it is, bruh. This was literally 2009, like a few months after he passed. It's like the first few weeks of school. I remember Michael Jackson, This Is It came out. This one girl had a This Is It necklace on. Yeah, like, I remember This Is It. We never did see This Is It in theaters. But, yeah, like I said, newspapers, you know. His face was on newspapers. His face was on every article in the book. You know, Twitter crashed that day, too. It's crazy. I remember July 4th. Yo, I really need to stop jumping around, bro. I went all the way to August, to September, to back to July. Bro. I'm sorry. But I remember July 4th that year, you know, when I went to my grandma's house, God rest her soul. Went to my grandma's house that year, and I remember the Jacksons' American Dream was on, bro. And I remember one of my cousins said, I cried when Michael Jackson died. Yeah, she flat out just told me I cried when Michael died. I really did. He was so wonderful. Yeah, the Jackson American Dream played on for 24 hours at that time, bro. I remember that. And I remember I did not feel like watching that entire thing. Because Jackson American Dream is like, what? It's like, what, 7 hours long? Is it? Because that felt mad long. Eventually I did watch it, though. You know? I'm not gonna lie. Part of it's a little slow. We need an updated version. But all of them did a great job in that movie. It was amazing. But dang, learning about his death was crazy too. Oh, his doctor killed him? What? I remember that. All the speculation about his death was crazy. Like, how did he overdose? He was about to do a tour. Yeah, I had no idea about that tour, bro. I had no idea about it. Because, I wasn't really... I did what my mom said, I didn't really pay attention to stuff other than gospel. But, yeah. The day Michael Jackson died, the impact. After this day, bro, I was hooked on the Michael Jackson train, bro. I was hooked on it. I remember watching his videos. Like I said, I wanted to dance just like that. Usher too. Yeah, Usher, for sure. And Chris Brown, I've seen all these dances, bro. And Michael just killed it. Like, Thriller was the coolest video I've ever seen. But I digress. So, yep, today is the anniversary of Michael's passing. It's literally been like, what, 13 years, bro? What? 2009 did not seem that far away, though. It didn't. I remember 3rd grade. I remember that year. I would see all the awards he was getting. Like I said, Chris Brown was on stage, killing it, doing his MJ tribute and stuff like that. And he still gets respect from this day, to this day. So, yeah, the day Michael Jackson passed, my little story time or something like that. I still can't believe he's gone to this day. A lot of people I know still say that. Say, oh, I can't believe he's not here no more. Hopefully, his family is at peace with it. That's all I could really say. Like Michael, Michael was he was a generational talent, and I would see people just cry, just pass out. I'm like, whoa. I saw this YouTube video. This one girl told her sister, yo, Michael Jackson just passed? Like, the sister just looked dead in the camera and just like, boom, fainted like that, bro. I wonder how she's doing now. Like, I'm like, yo, I've never seen a death this crazy, bro. Kobe's death was crazy too. Yeah, I can't say that. Kobe's death was crazy. But I don't know, Michael's was just like, But, I think Michael was personally, I think he was ready to go. The more I learned about his situation at the end of his life, or the last few years of his life, I feel like he was at peace. I think he was ready to head out, I think he was. Not at peace, I would say, because, so much crazy stuff surrounding him. But I think when he died, he felt relieved. Wherever he is right now, I don't know. I'm not God. I can't say for sure. But, all I can really say is that, he left an incredible body of work and talent that we will never see again from him. So that's unfortunate. But, hey. Dang. It's been a minute since I've really unpacked, the entire death of Michael Jackson. Like, really. It's been a minute. And all these memories are coming back to me. It's like, wow, Michael's death was the craziest death I've ever seen. I know I keep saying that, but like, you cannot go around without seeing this man's face. I saw one of his impersonators downtown one time, just blasted his music and just like, doing all that with the glove and yeah, like what? And I'm like, I want to do that too. I want to do that too. And like I said, right, all this younger generation just knows about Michael like crazy. You know, at my family reunion, there will always be somebody doing a Michael Jackson thing sometime. Always will be. Whether it's a kid, full-grown adult, teenager. It's like Michael was just everywhere, bro. But, you know, I don't know how to end these videos, but I'm going to try. Michael's death was the most craziest, most shocking death I've ever seen in my life. And rest in peace.